What are the 5 biggest misbeliefs and excuses that keep you away from your dream career in consulting, finance, and management? Hi, my name is Johannes, and in this video we need to do some real talk because in the past weeks I was talking on a daily basis to people who want to have a career in consulting, in management, in finance, and when I asked them, hey, why haven't you achieved your career goals yet? They always come with some kind of excuse or with some kind of misbelief. And this misbelief or these excuses, they keep the people in their comfort zone. So they are not stepping outside the comfort zone and they are not doing what it takes in order to succeed in these industries. And for that reason, I wanted to break with these excuses and these misbeliefs and talk about them and really tell you how it is in reality. So let's lose no time, let's jump directly into it. What is misbelief number one or excuse number one? It's that your family background is very, very important if you want to have a successful career in these industries. And there are many people who come to me and say, hey, Johannes, I don't come from an academic background, or my father was not CEO at a top company, so it's really difficult for me to make a career. But the truth is that, and I've seen both worlds. I've seen people, who come from a top academic background and people who do not come from a household where the parents have a top academic or professional background. And what I realized is the following. So of course it helps if you have a good family background, because you get certain values, probably there's a high focus on your education. You also have this feeling, how the business world works. Also networking is probably, and dealing with important people is much easier for you. But in my experience, this only helps you in the first couple of, I wouldn't even say years. So maybe in the first steps in your career, getting an internship here or maybe getting an invitation to an interview there. But the truth is also that if you want to have a successful career, your career is a marathon, okay? Because you have to perform for years, okay? Not only in the first years where you select your jobs. This is just the beginning, because then you have to climb up the career ladder, you have to prove yourself as a manager and slowly but surely climb up the levels. And that's what it is all about. And yes, of course it helps if you come from a good family background, but this only helps you in your first steps. And after that, you are on your own, and over time, only the ones will succeed who really put in the work and really prioritize their careers and take the necessary steps that they need to take in order to climb up the career ladder. So this is the first misbelief, that you have to come from a wealthy family or from a good family in order to make it in these careers. The second misbelief is that you have to be the smartest, to make it in these jobs. And that's also completely wrong, because of course intelligence plays a certain role and you have to have a certain level of intelligence. But let's be honest, we are building no rockets if we work in consulting or in finance or in management, okay? It's management, so it's mainly around organizing people. It's no rocket science, okay? Of course, there should be a certain academic standard because, we are also dealing with some numbers, we're doing some analysis, and of course, this has to be solid, but still, it's no rocket science. So you don't have to be like an Albert Einstein or being the best of your class all the time. There are, of course, many people who have outstanding academic results, who are also very intelligent, but still this is a minority in these firms, okay? So there are many people who have just an average intelligence, but worked really, really hard to get where they want to be. So intelligence and not being smart is not an excuse, and this is a misbelief that I want to break. So wherever, whatever your grades were, maybe in high school, this doesn't matter anymore. You still have a chance to make it if you take the necessary steps and if you work really, really, really hard to make it in these industries. So misbelief number 3 is that making a career in these industries is only possible if you have a lot of luck. And again, that's a huge misconception. And it's also an excuse for many people, because if people get invited to an interview or get the job offer or get promoted, and if you are the one getting not promoted, it's very easy to say, yeah, the other ones, they were lucky, okay, and I had just bad luck. But the truth is that yes, of course, luck plays a role at some points in your career. And there are certain key decisions or key moments where luck can play a role. But you also have to understand that there are just a lot of these moments throughout your career. It's not only like, getting an interview invitation. It's also about like all these like hundreds and thousands other points in your career, like what kind of project you get, what kind of people you meet, what kind of performance you have on this one project, what the result is. There are thousands of decision points where you can have luck or bad luck. And what you will see over a career over the years is that good luck and bad luck, that this kind of balances out. So yes, in single points, good luck, bad luck might play a role, but if you stay consistent, if you put in the work, if you do the necessary steps, if you learn what you need to learn in order to get to the level where you want to be, then luck will balance each other out. That's really, really important to understand, okay? So this is the third misbelief. Then the fourth misbelief is that you have to sacrifice your private life in order to make a career in consulting, finance, and management. And yes, there is no doubt, you have to work a lot. Sometimes you have to work, depending on the role, between 60, 70, 80, 90, sometimes even 100 hours per week, sometimes even more in some occasions, okay? This happens, and this is just reality. No reason or no need, to deny that. But the important thing is, this career is only for you if you really love your job, okay? You cannot work 80 hours, 90 hours, even 70 hours if you don't love what you do. And this job or these jobs can be very rewarding because you have a strong impact, you work in a really inspiring environment, your colleagues are, great people, very interesting personalities, the topics you are working on, they really have an impact in the business world. So it's a great job that, that I just loved and still love, and that, you can love as well. Of course, there are people who don't love that job, but then it's also not the right industry for you. So you only can work in these jobs and you can only be happy in these jobs if you like what you do. This is your work life. Your private life, here you have to understand that you have to prioritize quality over quantity. And I saw that myself, because I realized that many of my friends who had like much more free time than I did, they didn't use their time wisely. So they didn't make it to create this kind of quality within the quantity of hours that they actually had available. And I learned, and also this is what I see from people who are much further in a career than I am. I learned that those people who have a successful career in the long run, that they learn also in their private life to get the most out of each single hour that they spend with their family, that they spend with their friends, that they spending, with themselves, doing sport or whatsoever. Okay, and this is really the key, that you actively manage your private life and your work-life balance, and that you get more value out of the hour. And then it's also possible to have a highly demanding job and also to live a happy and a kind of balanced private life. Okay, that is possible, but you have to apply and learn the right strategies. And then misbelief number 5 is that you are just not meant to have a great career. And I can identify with that pretty strongly, because like back then, before I joined the consulting industry, I actually studied music. And if you would have asked some of my friends back then who would be the least likeliest person to make it into management consulting, they would have probably chosen me. So that's why I can really say that it doesn't matter from where you start. I worked really, really hard to get where I am, and I learned like the necessary to do the necessary steps that I need to do in order to get where I am or where I was. Okay, so it is possible, even if it seems impossible. You just have to have patience and do the right steps. And then a career in consulting, in finance, in management is feasible for every single one of you. That's really important, and that's a very important message for me because I learned it myself. So these are like 5 misbeliefs, 5 misconceptions, 5 excuses that I hear over and over and over again. And I want you also to break with them, to understand that you have it in your own hands. And if you want to have a career in consulting, in finance and management, then it's time to take action, get out of your comfort zone, and really take the necessary steps that you need to take in order to make a career. So with that being said, if you are interested in a career in consulting, finance or management, and if you need support with the next steps, if you really want to belong to the top 1%, then please get in touch with us. We have a program that helps you to get there. And with that being said, hope to see you soon. Have a successful week. Talk to you in the next video. Goodbye, Johannes.